Good afternoon. Now, investors are obviously still revved up about Q2 results, but looking at the market's performance today, is it safe to say that the release of the inflation numbers had no impact at all?
For what we saw today, the inflation figure released at about 12.9% has no significant impact on the market, because in the last, the market has been running upward in the last 2 weeks. And today, there is no difference. But what you said earlier on, that the index moved up by about 1.09% today, is actually the position. And we believe that there is no end to this upward movement yet, because there's still a lot of enthusiasm coming up with respect to the Q2 results, some of which have been trickling in, and many others are still being expected. For what we've had so far, there hasn't been any disappointment at all. So the enthusiasm is still very much up, and people believe that in spite of the inflation figure, they're still going to do better as the month continues.
Well, Rotimi, you know, like we're still talking about Q2 results, but we actually did have corn oil come out with their Q1 full year results today. Looking at its top line, we saw turnover up from 102.9 billion naira to 157.5 naira. So obviously those top line results looking quite good. Analysts, however, say the rest was just fairly good. How did the stock react to these full year 2011 results? Analysts say there was some positive response today. What is your take, Rotimi?
Well, for corn oil, though the result is coming late, but having come now, what we got is quite interesting, because the top line has a significant change of almost 50%, but the bottom line has a change of barely maybe 5 or 6%, from 2.79 to 2.98 or thereabout. So just a small fraction representing a change there. But the result, what actually makes investors to believe that things, that makes them to have more interest in the stock, is that they are paying a dividend of 2 naira 50 kobo, which implies that it's more than the average return on any stock, which is about 10%. Because with their price at 22 naira today, and they are giving a dividend of 2 naira 50 kobo, that is quite about 12%. And investors believe that if they could still get that stock at this point in time, going forward, even the price may go up higher. So the response today was quite commendable, and there's still the stock closed on bid, and the investors still believe that things are going to get better as the years roll by. So the positive response is quite very commendable.
Well, let's shift our attention to another sector where we're hearing some quite good news coming out of UACN actually announced its acquisition of a majority stake in Portland Paints. Now, this is barely a week, Rotimi, after it came out saying that it also was planned to buy livestock feeds. Now, I looked at some analysts' view of this planned acquisition of these two companies, and they say investors should tread carefully when it comes to this stock. What is your take on this? I mean, we saw this stock sort of spurring buying sentiments yesterday and day before yesterday. There was healthy demand for UACN. Is it still performing well? How are investors playing that stock specifically?
UACN is one of the conglomerates listed on the stock exchange. And in years back, there was some, they gave up some of they divested from some of their subsidiaries. And right now, they are trying to see where they could form a better synergy. And last week, maybe 2 weeks back, when they announced a business combination with livestock, a real-time acquisition, and even this week, talking about Portland Paints, the group has been doing well. And I think this synergy is going to work out. For investors, they've been quite positive in their response with the fact that they are asking more of those shares. And the price went up today. And I think there's really nothing to fear coming on the investor side, because for what I perceive, the combination is quite a good synergy, and they have nothing to worry about. So their response is a welcome development.